welcome back to my YouTube channel. And if you're new to this channel, my name is Ruth Kim, and on my channel I share my own experiences as a foreigner here in Germany. I've started sharing content on personal development, and that's what we are going to cover today, as I promised on my last video. And today I have a very special guest. She's a coach, personal development coach. So I have the best person so far, and I'm going to let her introduce herself.
Hi guys, my name is Elisabeth Muthoni Njoroge, and I'm a certified leadership and business coach.
So guys, today I'm going to ask her questions as a person who has started working on her personal development, and I'm hoping by the end of this video we are going to learn something. Yes, you and me, and maybe Muthoni is also going to learn something from me. So Muthoni, where do you start with your personal development?
So the first step to start with developing yourself is to identify what are your strengths. So every person is gifted in some way or another. We have people who are very gifted when it comes to communication. We have people who are gifted when it comes to singing, or they're gifted, with playing football. So the first step to starting your personal development is to identify what are you good at. And what do you want to develop yourself on? So we have 3 areas of personal development, the 3 main areas. We have the spiritual area, we have the physical area, that is your health, and we have the mental area.
Can I ask something before you go on?
Yes.
Like, you said the first thing is to develop yourself.
Yes.
Or to find your strength.
Yeah.
We have people who until now they don't know what they are good at. How do you know what you're good at? How do you identify your strength?
Well, first of all, there is a professional way to help you identify your strengths. That is when we do the DISC personality test on people. That is where we are able to tell you what kind of a personality trait you are, and we show you your strength, and from there we can be able to help you to, start developing your strengths. But if you want now to identify your strengths manually, I would say that, is we have people who, when you were growing up, you were always told, you are very good at singing, or you're very good at leading people or convincing people, or you're very good, at listening or caring for people. There is something from the time that you were a child, you were told you're good at. I think everyone has, something they can identify with.
But you also have things like, I myself, I feel like I'm good at something, but someone else thinks I'm not good at it. What about that? Should I believe what I feel, or should I take what other people are saying?
I think the question is, are you really good at what you think you're good at? Because I always give an example of myself. I am very passionate, for example, about, I'm very passionate on things to do with dancing. Very passionate. I might think I'm a good dancer when I dance, but on a real sense, I'm not a good dancer. Like, my dancing skill on a scale of 1 to 10 is a 4. So if, for example, I was to go on a stage and people paid to come and see me dance, I always think like people would just raise up their hand and say, we are going to pay double for her to get out of that stage, because surely she cannot dance. She doesn't have any friends to tell her the truth. She cannot dance. It's not, but as a hobby, I definitely can do that, but I cannot make my career out of that. Now, when it comes to personal development, it is important now to identify what are your real strengths, things that you're really good at. And strengths meaning in terms of hard skills. Hard skills are things that you can be able to measure, like you're good in communication, you're good at leading people. There are people who you can see they're naturally born leaders. They have the leadership quality with them. There are people also who are very good singers, like they really have the voice and everything. So those people are naturally gifted in that. Those are hard skills. Now, when it comes to hard skills, you want to focus on developing, your strengths. But there is also soft skills. Soft skills are things that are more emotional based. For example, you are more kind, or you're definitely more caring, or you're impatient and things like that. Now, when it comes to soft skills, you want to focus on your weaknesses. Because, for example, if you're not patient, you need to work on being more patient with people, because that is important. So that's more soft skills. And if you're not so much of a kind person, you probably need to do things which are more, caring, and that shows more kindness. So on your hard skills, you work on your strengths. On your soft skills, you work on your weaknesses. Exactly.
Okay, so that you can get to understand people more.
Yes, and also so that you can, when you work on your strengths when it comes to hard skills, for example, if you're working on something that you're winning, whenever you work on something that you're really good at, whenever you win on that particular thing, you feel more encouraged to do more. But if you're working on something that you're not naturally gifted, then you put a lot of effort, and at the same time you get discouraged because you're working on something that you're not naturally gifted in and you're not good at. I cannot be the best golfer like Tiger Woods. I'm not gifted as a golfer. So if I went there and worked on my golfing skills to become the best golfer in the world, I'm kidding myself. I will never be the best golfer because I'm not naturally gifted in that. And even if I worked on my skills, like I said, when it comes to now hard skills, you can only improve your strengths maybe with a 1 or a 2. That means if you're a 4, you can be a 5. That is still average. People don't care so much these days about anything which is average. So anything above average is something that is, your strength. Like you're a 7 on that particular thing. You're naturally gifted as an entrepreneur. I started, for example, being an entrepreneur at the age of 6. That is when I did my first business transaction. My parents, my mom, we wanted dolls. We had all these dolls when you're growing up. Now my mom bought for me and my sister dolls which were made of wool. That means they came with clothes attached. You could not wash it, you could not change the clothes, you could not do anything. And I wanted a plastic one, the one I could be able to wash, the one I could be able to sew clothes for, and the one I could be able, to do all these kind of things like a, real baby. So what I did is that my dad is a driver, and he used to go to Kisumu and Eldoret and bring a lot of groceries with. And I could see that a lot of things used to get spoiled, at home. The bananas, all the things that he brought. So I told my sister, instead of these things getting wasted, let's take a few things and go on the other side of the road and put a mat and sell these things. And we did that. So
you started doing business.
I started doing business at the age of 6. And I had I had the mentality of doing business at the age of 6. So that means that is something that I'm an entrepreneur at heart. I was born as an entrepreneur. It's something that comes very naturally. And even right now, I don't see myself doing anything else ever in this life than, something that has to do with business or leadership.
When I was doing my research, I found out that personal development is very wide.
Wide, yeah.
And you mentioned that there are 3 types of personal development. Can you explain for us?
Yeah, there are 3 main areas. We have the spiritual area. For example, I'm a person of faith. So for me, I need to work on my spiritual area and developing my spiritual area. We always say the only growth which is automatic is the physical growth. When you reach 20, that's about it. You stop growing, You stop growing. So every other area, you have to be very intentional to grow yourself. Now we start with the spiritual area. For example, as a person of faith, for me to be able to develop my spiritual area or my spiritual growth, I need to spend time, with God. I need to allocate, 30 minutes or, a few 40 minutes or 1 hour every day to spend time with God, to read the Word of God, to pray, to be able to develop my spiritual growth. If you're not a person of faith, maybe your kind of spiritual thing is meditation, then you need to spend maybe 10, 30 minutes every day meditating. Yeah. Whatever your spiritual area is, you need to develop it. You have to become intentional on developing that area. Then we have also the physical area. If you do not go to work out, you will not you will definitely add weight, and even if you don't add weight, your health starts deteriorating. If you are not intentional also on eating very healthy, guess what? You eat McDonald's the whole month, you know what to expect.
And your health goes down as well,
Yes, so you become also intentional on having a plan already on how you're going to develop yourself also physically. The other area is mentally now. You know, a lot of people, once they are done with their degree or their high school diploma, they stop developing themselves. It's like they've reached their limit. Yeah. So the thing is, if you don't grow mentally, then you don't grow even in every other area. We always say you will always earn. The more you learn, the more you earn. And for you to be able,
the more you learn,
yes, the more you earn. Yes, your level of your income is directly proportional to how much you have worked on yourself. Yes. So a lot of people say, I want to become successful. But success is not something you find. Success is something you attract by the person you're becoming. So the big question is, when you're looking for a job, is not, oh, how much am I going to earn in this job? No, the good question is, who am I going to become by taking this particular job? Because how far you're going to go up the ladder is determined by how you grow and who you become. So have you ever heard of stories that, this is actually proven, statistics show that everyone who wins a lottery, and they win a lottery and they get like 1 million euros, within 1 year they have already lost the money.
They end up broke.
Yeah, they end up broke. Why? Because just because they were given 1 million doesn't mean they have become that kind of a person that can be able to sustain 1 million. Although they were given 1 million.
Yeah.
So they have not developed themselves to a level where they can be able to be those kind of people who are at a millionaire kind of a level. So they naturally, or in some weird way, the money disappears from them. So someone said that if all the money in this world was divided equally among everyone, the money will end up to the same pockets that had that money.
Yeah, because there are some people who developed themselves and others reached to an end. They stopped after high school or after graduation, they stopped. Exactly.
And it's the same thing. Once you tie your hand like this for a whole 2 years and you don't use your hand, after 2 years you'll never be able to use this hand.
Yeah.
Why? You stop using the hand. The hand is only functional because you've been using the hand. That's what makes the hand to be more functional and to be, to work every time. So whatever you stop using initially dies. So whatever you stop developing with time dies.
Yeah.
When you stop working on your relationship, when you stop communicating with people, initially the relationship also dies. Out of sight, out of mind, they say. So whatever you're not very intentional on developing, at the end of the day, it's just existing. You're not living.
So basically, we are supposed to self-develop ourselves every day.
Every day. Success is a daily agenda. Self-development is a daily agenda. And some people ask, okay, now, how long do I need to develop myself? Maybe 2 years, 3 years. No. As long as you are living. It's like asking someone who has gone to the doctor and the doctor tells them, your cholesterol level is a little bit high and you need to work out, you need to work out, you need to start, working on your health. And the person says, oh, but how long do I have to work on my health? How long do I have to go to the gym? A good doctor will ask, do you have 1 hour to work out or do you have 24 hours to be dead? Which one would you prefer?
1 hour to work out.
Yeah. So or 24 hours to be dead. It's either you have to choose one way or another.
So I have a question. Like personally, I feel like I started recently working on my personal development, and as you say that we are supposed to be working on it every day. Does that mean, because I feel like I've been doing it now?
Yeah.
Does that mean before I was not like working on my personal development?
You have to answer me that question. Were you working? Because the question is, do you have a personal development plan?
So I think I have been working on my personal development, but on different things, and now I'm more focused on other things that I was not working on them. So yeah, that's what I feel after you explained all that.
Yes, now in this, I think the thing is you are working on a different area of your life, and now you have identified another area that you want to be more specific at this time of your life to work on, and that is correct. Because the thing is, you have to identify at this season of my life, what is more important. Yes, what do I need to grow? Where do I need to grow? Which area do I want to develop? If you want, for example, to start a real estate company, probably for 1 year you need to read more about real estate investment and things like that. That is the area that you need to develop yourself in that particular season. So it depends with what is, the priority at that particular time in your life.
Okay, now I get it, because I used to tell myself until now that I just started recently working on my personal development, because there are some things, and I think my part for now is the mental part, because I want to be more successful. I want to work on my career, so maybe that's why it feels like I just started, because I was comfortable with my job.
Yeah.
It was okay for me being employed and getting my monthly salary, but now I want more. I want to become a millionaire as well.
Yes.
Amen.
Yes, you're the millionaire. That's the thing. But I don't think there is anything impossible. I think the way God has created us, there is no way you can imagine something which is unimaginable. Anything you can imagine can be done. And the problem is a lot of time when we need to start working on a bigger dream, which is more bigger than we've ever thought or we've ever set, is we thought of the question how. How am I going to do that? Which is always the long question, because you're not going to have the whole idea of how you're going to reach there. But the most important thing is to get started with what you have right now. So getting started is more important than figuring out the whole journey of how you're going to get there. The Wright brothers, the people who invented the aeroplanes, I believe they did not know how even they were going to complete an aeroplane and how even they were going to fly the aeroplane. I am not so sure that before they were able to successfully fly, any type of aeroplane, they crashed. And they did it even before they had what? A license.
So the thing is, sometimes you have to fail to make mistakes to get there, to get where you want to get.
Failure is part of success. I've never had anyone who really genuinely succeeded and put in the work that has never failed. Failure becomes not now failure, it is a learning process. Because just like he was, trying to develop the right bulb, he had done already like 500 failed attempts. And a journalist comes to him and asks him, hey, you have failed 500 times. Why are you still continuing with this? And we're already good with the, with the normal candles that we were using. He said, I have not failed 500 times. I have identified 500 times that did not work.
So there is this one time which is going to work.
Exactly. When I continue doing, when I persist, because there is a law called the law of consistency, because consistency compounds. It's just that it doesn't happen overnight. You don't go to the gym today just because you worked out 8 hours and think now I'm going to be in shape.
I think after working out for 3 days now I have cubes.
Yes, yeah.
Muscles.
Yeah, and then you start getting the muscles. It doesn't happen overnight.
No.
You have to go to the gym for 30 minutes for at least 3 months for any results to start appearing. So consistency compounds.
You've mentioned something like you've asked me if I have a plan for my self-development. I think that's also very important, because if you start working on something and you don't have a plan or a goal that you want to achieve, then there's going to reach a time and then you're going to stop working on it.
Yes. So a plan is important. The Bible even says it. Even to go into God, he says what? Present me your plans and I will establish them. So if you don't have a plan, he has nothing to establish.
Yeah.
And also the best part about having a plan is that if you don't plan your life, you're at the end of the day planning to fail. And you have to have a plan, even though you don't know how you're going to achieve that plan. You don't start a year before you finish it. You don't start a project before you finish it. This building, before it was finished, they first of all had the whole building on paper. They finished the building completely before it physically materialized. They already finished it on paper. That's the same thing with your goals. That's the same thing with your dream. You have to finish it already somewhere and put it on paper. Someone said that goals written down, I'll have achieved. Because there is some power that goes in when you transfer your mind from the mind now and your ideas from the mind, and you jot them down to a piece of paper. It's like there is this subconscious mind which somehow works and helps you to work on those goals even though you're not consciously working on them. So putting your dreams on paper is very important. God could have just told Moses, you know what, just go tell them like this, but he had to write everything down. So writing them down, writing anything that is very important to you, your goals and your vision and your plans is very important.
And which are some of the ways that we can learn personal development?
It starts with where do you start. I would say, first of all, you've identified your strength. If you need, by the way, to take a DISC personality test and I take you through, your strengths and your weaknesses and what you can work on, I can also do that. We have those courses. But after identifying your strengths now, you ask yourself, okay, what do I want to, grow on? Like personally, right now, I only read books based on readership, sales and marketing, and personal development, and also some spiritual books. I don't read any other comic or, thriller kind of books.
And which are the best books for personal development?
What book to start with? I would say
So
that.
there is
There's a book by John C. Maxwell called The 15 Invariable Rules of Your Personal Development. I would say start with that book because that book helps you to identify also clearly why you need to develop yourself and where you should start developing yourself.
So I think when it comes to books, last time I mentioned that I've started reading books as well. And one important thing when it comes to reading books is applying what you read from the books,
Exactly.
right? Because if you read and you gain knowledge but you don't apply it, then it's useless.
It's useless.
The same thing with the Bible. If
It's
you read the
useless.
Bible and then you don't apply those things that are written in the Bible, then it's also useless.
Exactly.
I'm going to say, Muthoni, we stop at this point. Guys, if you like the topic and you would like to see Muthoni again, give this video a thumbs up and put your comments or questions on the comment section below. And thank you so much, Muthoni.
Thank you for having me.